What's up? My name is Michael and I'm here to talk to you about the Fujifilm 35 1.4 lens with tape. You may wonder why it has tape. I will let you know about that later. First of all, I love this lens. I use it very often, and just because it's a very common focal length to shoot with. Its equivalent is 50mm if you talk about full frame lenses, and yeah, that's something you can use every day. It is the first lens that I got for my Fuji X system when I bought the X Pro 1, which was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't quite know. I might have to check. But you know, as everything you buy from Fuji, the packaging is really beautiful. You get this box with magnetic cover and everything. It's a lot of fun to open everything, and it's also a lot of fun to shoot with it. So this lens has a really good build quality, like everything you know from Fuji. It's really solid. Most people say it's built like a tank. That's true. It's true for everything I got from Fuji. Like 2 days ago, I dropped my X Pro 1 with a 56 from this height. I picked it up, it didn't even show a scratch, and it works just like it used to. So I think all of those things are built like a tank. That's also true for the lens hood. If you have a look at the lens hood, now the tape is on the lens hood, but it doesn't matter. It's made of metal. Have you ever seen a metal lens hood from any other manufacturer? It's very uncommon. But this lens has the metal lens hood, and let me remove the tape. It's shaped really beautiful. I love this thing. So you don't buy this lens because of the lens hood, you buy it because of the field of view that you get from it, and you buy it because of the really wide aperture with f1.4, and that allows you to shoot with a very shallow depth of field, and it allows you to shoot with a very low ISO in low light. So that's what you buy this lens for. So the next topic probably to talk about is the focus speed. The focus speed of that lens is not the greatest. I think the reason is that it is one of the earlier Fuji lenses for the X system. You know, it's not slow as hell, but the new one, the F2, is much faster, and this one hunts a little bit, and it's not a big deal. I like that it's f1.4 and not f2, so this is one more stop of light. You can use half the ISO compared to the f2 version. So wonderful lens. The thing that is a problem to me for shooting in the studio is the aperturing. It's a little bit loose, and if you're like me and you like to hold your camera with one hand under the lens, you will find yourself very many times turning the aperture ring unintended. So your exposure will change, and that's something that I have solved by using a little bit of tape. I adjust the aperture to what I want to have, and I just put a little bit of tape on there, and you don't accidentally change the aperture and ruin your next shot. One more difference to the f2 version is the weather resistance and the weather sealing. This lens doesn't have it. So if you like to shoot a lot outside and in very bad weather, you might consider getting the new f2 version. Maybe I will have to get this as well to have a more compact and faster focusing 35 lens, but for now and for the years that I've had this lens, it's wonderful. If you have the chance to get this, you shouldn't be thinking about that too long, just get either one of these two lenses. They are both very fine. And if your subject is not that fast moving, you shouldn't also care about the focus speed. Everybody talks about the focus speed difference between the f1.4 and the f2, and I also did. There is a noticeable difference in the speed which these lenses are focusing, but in reality, it's not much of a deal. So don't worry about that too much. With that being said, the focus speed is not the only thing that's the difference between those lenses. It's also the focus noise. And yes, you can call it noise because this lens is pretty loud when focusing. I think it's louder than every other lens that I've had so far. And yeah, maybe that's an issue for you depending on the subject you're shooting. If you're shooting in a museum, for example, you might pick the f2 version because it's much more quiet. So these are my thoughts about the 35 f 1.4 lens. I can absolutely recommend it. I love it. It's always in my bag. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit difficult to choose sometimes between the 35 and the 23. And I start liking the 23 very much in the last days. And yeah, maybe it's gonna be my new favorite lens soon. So maybe this one will be used less in the future, but I'm not sure quite until now. So I think let's have a look at some example images. Let me show you what I did with this lens. You can have a look at the bokeh, you can have a look at the image quality, you can have get a feeling for the angle of view that you're gonna get with this lens. And I hope you enjoy. Leave a thumbs up for this video, subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day. Bye.